Joe.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Joe.
It's the girl Kiyyah.
And we here with a reaction video. And today, we're going to be reacting to something crazy. Something that you ain't never heard before. Something that shouldn't even be going on. Yes, you have read it right. Florida mom had a family dog on video. Oh, man. Oh, man.
It's about to be something crazy.
Like,
I don't even have my headphones on.
this is devious behavior right here. This is devious behavior right here. I'm gonna put my headphones on. And we're gonna get right into it, y'all.
And I just woke up and I have no idea what's going on. We'll talk. I'm just reading you the search warrant. Do you understand?
A young mother in Florida on body camera, and she'll later admit to engaging in sex acts with the family dog and more. I have the disturbing case out of Florida and what else White told police. Samantha Lee White is a petite blonde from North Fort Myers, Florida, and she has a young child, which makes it really sad that she's on her way to prison. And she's going there for sex crimes against animals, specifically a dog. This case started in February 2024 when police and deputies went to her home with a search warrant. They were looking for electronic devices.
Damn.
Yeah.
Just have her get the child and then come down and then you can...
So get the child first and then read it. I'll follow her in there. When I come get the baby, I'll follow you in there.
Davis, we're coming.
She just can't leave that dog alone.
Ruger, shut up. Wait, one second. You're walking too fast for me. I'm not hearing.
So the officer follows Samantha White up to the second floor of the house, and there are already other officers there with the little boy.
Is she up there? Yeah. Mama, yeah, Mama gosh.
How did they even catch her? Like, how did they even know that she's doing this with an animal?
Because they had a search warrant for electronics, so I'm guessing they got the camera and went through the footage.
Watching this is really, really sad, knowing what we know now and seeing this child in the video because his mom is going to be arrested and is now on her way to prison. The officer then reads the search warrant to Samantha White.
I'm gonna, once we get over here.
Going back to like...
Yeah, right here where it's warm a little. Alright, so I'm gonna read you this. We have a search warrant for the residence, okay? It's gonna be under agency case number with Lee County 24-06919.
The charges in Samantha White's case are concerning to say the very least. I looked her up on truthfinder.com to see what might come up. Truthfinder is one of the largest public records search holding her son as the officer reads the description of the house in the warrant, but then the officer tells her why they are actually there and what they think they will find.
This is what we're searching the house for. The law prohibits sexual performance by a child controlled by Florida State Statute 827.071 subsection 5 of Florida State Statute. The firm has probable cause to believe and does believe that the property connected with the above listed crime is currently being contained, stored, or concealed within the following location. Direction to locate, and this is just the address of how we got here. We're from the Lee County Sheriff's Office. Came from 147506 Mile Cypress, Fort Myers, Florida, headed towards Independence Circle. Basically, this is just the address of how we arrived here. And the following items is what we're going to be looking for. Images or videos of child engaging in sexual conduct defined in Florida State Statute 827.071.
I don't understand.
Hold on,
I can't have you read this right now. Like,
okay.
I haven't even taken a this morning. And I just woke up and I have no idea what's going on.
We'll talk to. I'm just reading you the search warrant. Do you understand?
I
want to?
I get an understanding.
Do you want me to keep reading, or do you want to look at it yourself?
I'll look at it myself.
Okay, just Well, we're gonna be looking for electronics, basically. That can. Are you okay? I know this is a pretty hard. I'm sorry, I made your mind cry, baby.
And that's what I just don't want, because I can't give him to his dad, and I can't give him to anybody that I don't trust, and I just need a minute.
We don't trust you.
The judge was well. I'll just read the final. You can look at it in a minute. The warrant was presented to the judge on the 14th, which is yesterday.
So this is an investigation about child pornography, child sex abuse materials.
About cheese
this
pizza.
Is very, very serious.
All right, questions?
And not only that, but you got
As soon as
dogs.
the house is, we're done. We'll
Cheese
turn it back
pizza
over. We're gonna
and
talk to you about this.
The B word.
Okay. Do you have any questions for us?
This is crazy.
At some point, I need a water and to use the restroom.
Okay.
Other than that.
Yeah, we can do that. All right.
And then at some point, I would also like to go in the little garden area just so I can set him down and he can play.
Okay. Perfect. So let me just coordinate with them and I'll be right back.
And when can I see my husband?
In a minute. We'll talk to you guys. And just for the record, this warrant was served at 7:47 a.m. Okay.
husband.
Oh, you got a husband.
I'll get to Samantha White's
And he out here
husband, John
getting
White,
busy
in a
with the
bit.
dog.
First, I'll tell you what police say Samantha White told them. The detective said that White told them that she was fascinated by a male horse's anatomy and would look up videos and photos of it online. White also told the detectives that she looked up videos of horses engaged in sex with other horses and with a woman. Police said this led to other revelations from White that she would only discuss with a female detective. Samantha White then admitted to having sex with her family dog. She decided to try it since the horse's anatomy interested her so much, but she told the detective the interaction with the dog wasn't her thing. Now back to the body camera video.
She started crying, so she didn't want me to finish it. I'm like, we're looking for electronics.
You told her she's going to have the copy of it.
Yeah, I said this is going to be a copy, and I told her that the judge who authored the search when I showed her the day and time.
Okay. The only other thing we're going to try is we want to have her come in and get the dog. There's one little section we couldn't clear.
Okay.
So if we can have her either leave little guy or... She can keep it with her. That's fine.
I have her come
We just want to put him on a leash or... let's just find... I'll go with you. Let's just see if we can find a spot while we reset. Poop everywhere.
Too late. I don't know how many times I had stepped on everything.
Ma'am, is there anywhere we can put the dogs besides that space while we're here? Or, are they allowed outside?
I can let them out over here, and then they'll be trapped in there, and nobody else will have access.
Will that be okay with you?
Yes.
It'll just help us
I just
speed
prefer
things up.
me
No, we
to do
would prefer you to do it as well.
I just don't know how they would react to anybody else.
Are you able to help do that right now? Okay.
I sure am. When we go in, is there a way I can just get a sip of water before we do that?
For sure. Yeah, we can do all that. No worries.
I need to use the restroom.
Yeah.
Fascinated with the horse anatomy. What is fascinating? Somebody explain to me, because I'm confused. You telling me you like horse schlong?
Who uncle is you? Staring at the camera like that.
My bad. I went in the aunt mode. I got me a few nieces myself, but they ain't never gonna be caught doing no shit like this. Fascinated with the horse anatomy. And then you searching up horses having sex with each other?
I'm not using that.
So the detectives go into the house to get the family's dogs.
Do you mind if she holds the baby really quick while we do that?
I do.
Okay, that's fine.
No, that's okay.
This will just need to be moved, and we'll have
Hey,
to close
hold the
this
baby.
behind us.
It's
Otherwise,
gonna be
the
a
dogs
last
will run
time
right
for a
out this
minute.
way.
Okay. If you guys want to grab your...
This one is
close
crazy.
this.
Yeah, Mama knows a little bit.
Because I'm trying to figure out, because not only is they searching her house for the dog, but they searching the house for
Some CP.
cheese pizza.
Exactly.
She married?
Right.
Like,
I wonder if her husband go to jail.
We need it.
It's yours.
I'm getting a glass of water before we do this.
That house looks stuffy as hell. I ain't trying to be judgmental.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, Rennie knows. It's okay, though, baby.
I could go to prison for something like that. I just could not go outside like that.
For real, bro. Imagine having that on your record. So now when they search you up, they gonna see CP and some animal stuff.
All the time.
Okay, one's gonna come right away and then
Hey, that gate's closed, right?
Yeah, I think they just closed it.
They're gonna come this way, yeah? They're gonna come right. Hey, Chloe! Hey, Chloe!
The big dog. That is a big dog.
You can tell by them steps.
Mm-hmm.
I know that might be probably in that shaking back and forth.
No, you guys know not that way. Not that way. Stella, Luna, Rupert.
I wonder which one she did it with. Rupert?
The 3 dogs are removed from the house, and now the detectives have to make sure that Samantha White is out of the house.
Right to Jim.
His bicycle, so I should say.
Yeah, that's fine. You need to use the restroom really quick, right?
Yeah, but
It's gonna be. Is it gonna?
I'll be fine for at least another 10 minutes.
Okay.
She's making this process longer than it has to be.
But she got to because she's gonna be behind bars.
It don't matter how long she take, you still gonna get locked up.
Facts, though. This one is insane.
That day, Samantha White was arrested and charged with having sexual contact with animals. She was released the very next day after posting bail.
Okay.
Samantha's husband, John White, was interviewed by detectives. The police report says John denied knowledge of how his cell phone could have ended up inside the toilet bowl where it was located by detectives after John took an extended amount of time to exit the residence during the search warrant service and announcements of law enforcement. John advised there were pictures of himself, his wife Samantha, and Samantha having sex with a canine on his cell phone.
On his cell phone.
So he a freaky.
Buddy, you're involved. And your ass is going to jail.
The canine involved in the sexual acts with Samantha is their chocolate male Labrador retriever. John believes there are 1 or 2 files depicting Samantha engaging in sex acts with their canine sometime in the end of last year, 2023, or the beginning of this year, 2024. John stated that day of the incident, Samantha and he were drinking and the canine was being annoying. John does not recall who mentioned engaging in sexual acts with the canine, but believes it would have been Samantha.
So because of the dog annoying, you had some sexual acts.
That's really nasty as hell. That's nasty.
It ain't a day on earth where it boiled down to having sex with an animal, bro. It don't know, no matter how down bad you is. It ain't a day in life where you and the animal need to be.
And Samantha had apparently told the police that she would sometimes think about this stuff when she was drinking. The report says that John White admitted to recording Samantha engaging in the sex acts with the dog. John White was also arrested and charged with filming and possessing images or videos of animal sexual activity in February of 2024. Then last July, he was booked into the jail again after being charged with several counts of possession of child pornography. At the same time, Samantha
is this
White
child
was
in
also
question?
charged with possessing and transmitting child
No.
pornography. Then earlier this month, Samantha White pleaded guilty to 3 counts of sexual activity involving animals. Those child pornography charges were actually dropped. She was sentenced to 3 years in prison and 3 years probation after her release.
I don't understand how charges like that get dropped or whatever, but man, this stuff is crazy. I don't know nothing about the justice system besides the laws that I'm able to read, but man, man, having either one of those attached to your name is still enough to just ruin everything.
I want to bring in Dr. Daniel Bober. He's a forensic psychiatrist to talk a little bit about
Boy, I
this
know that
case. Dr.
background
Bober,
green
you know, I've
screen. He ain't
talked
in
to
the
you a little bit
Marriott, boy.
about bestiality before. I mean, it's a really touchy, kind of gross subject, but we have a woman here who's been sentenced to 3 years in prison. And when the police went to her door, she apparently readily admitted that she had a fascination with, you know, certain parts of animals' anatomy. She discussed horses, she discussed dogs, and the investigation kind of unfolded from there. They went there with a search warrant because they had some information about her possibly having some child sex abuse material, things like that. So where does this come from? Where do people develop these fascinations?
So just some clarification on some of these terms. So zoophilia is classified as a paraphilia, which is an atypical or deviant sexual interest. So the zoophilia is the sexual urges or sexual fantasies about animals. Now, that in and of itself, believe it or not, is not a mental illness until there is some level of distress or impairment or some negative consequence. Bestiality is the illegal part. It's the behavior. It's having sex or sexual relations with animals. And so that's the part that is illegal in a lot of different jurisdictions.
So zoophilia is when you attracted to the idea, or I think that's what I'm understanding. And bestiality is when you do the behavior. He said zoophilia is not a mental illness until it's like dangerous or some other two things that I can't remember.
A lot of these types of behaviors are more studied often in men than in women. But we know that people who have paraphilias very often will have a history of childhood sexual abuse, where they have distorted sexual development and problems with normal boundaries. Very often they suffer from emotional neglect. In terms of mental health disorders, we can see sometimes they can suffer from psychosis, personality disorders, antisocial behavior, borderline personality disorder, problems with attachment, problems with boundaries, obviously a no regard for the rights of the animals or the way it's affecting the animals. And sometimes they have problems with impulse control or ADHD. A lot of us have fantasies, but that doesn't mean we have to act on them. So those people have trouble controlling their impulses. They have an inability to exercise restraint, and they will often act on these deviant fantasies. And of course, there are people who use substances, and so the substances will lower their inhibitions, and they will act out these fantasies. They rationalize their behavior. They, basically say, "Oh, this is no big deal. The animal is not being affected by it." They minimize the harm, which of course we know there's tremendous harm. And then a lot of people who have social isolation and have trouble attaching to other human beings will sometimes do this. So there are a variety of factors that are at play that can make this occur.
Dang, man.
So the zoophilia is when you're just thinking about it and fixating on it. It moves into a crime and becomes bestiality when you actually act on it.
Correct.
Well, they say she acted on it. I guess she was sentenced for having sexual interactions, relations with 4 dogs. And this was discovered, I guess. There were videos of this, some other.
I'm not gonna cap. I know they said that it wasn't her thing, but 4 dogs.
It's your thing, pal.
Things. There was some mention about her husband, who also has been charged in this case, but his case is pending. He has not been sentenced yet. The phone being found in the toilet tank.
Yeah, like, buddy, your ass knew. You tried to get away with that bitch. You tried to throw the evidence away. They went and got that bitch. And they probably freaking got that bitch working or took whatever piece they needed out and got that evidence.
So, I mean, she's going to prison for 3 years for this down in Florida. 3 years sounds like a really long time, and she's going to be on the animal abuser registry. So she, obviously this had to have been pretty significant for them to sentence her to 3 years in prison. Plus, she'll be on probation when she gets out.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, harming an animal, a completely defenseless creature. I mean, I think we've talked about this before. I mean, I have two myself. I think you have dogs too.
Yes.
So for someone like me, I find it particularly offensive. These animals, they're so special. They're really like our kids. And for someone to come after them, it's really a very similar
Especially
type reaction.
dogs, bro. Cause dogs, like, they're real loving and protective and caring and even remorseful sometimes whenever they do something like poop or pee on something that they learn they're not supposed to and stuff. So for you to take advantage of the dog like that, like, that's tough in the worst way.
It's sickening. I can't.
So I can see where someone would sort of hit them hard with a sentence to send a message that this is not acceptable behavior, especially when you're preying upon creatures that are totally defenseless, totally innocent, and obviously can't speak and defend themselves. So it's a pretty horrific crime.
When
Dog
somebody goes to
probably got walked up on. She was probably looking at that dog, and the dog probably like, "Roo, roo, 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 roo." Remember, because I'm from a deer. I don't editing that out.
prison and they're sentenced for something like this. I mean, 3 years in prison, plus she's already, I guess, been in jail for a time too. I kind of think to myself, well, she's going to be in prison for a time. There are programs in prison. There's programming that you can take part in. I guess she has a choice. Do you go to prison and you do your time and then you just get out, or do you make some use of your time in there and then you get out and you're on this animal abuser registry and you're on probation? I mean, how do you treat something like this? Like, how do you get better so when you get out, you don't kind of go back to the same behavior and do this again?
So as I touched on before, there's a complex psychological picture of someone who would engage in this type of behavior. So someone like this that I look at, I would say, they would need what we call cognitive behavioral therapy or trauma-informed care. We need to look at the factors that led to this type of behavior. I would want to look at that relationship that she was in with her husband prior to this occurring. How much did he play into this? Was he someone that encouraged it? Was he more passive? Was he complicit? I would want to know.
To have your phone, to have it in your phone, and then to throw your phone away, kind of seemed like maybe this wasn't said, but it kind of seemed like you had a pretty active role inside of it, and your guilt had to try and dump the evidence somewhere. Just saying though, I ain't trying to pass no judgment.
A lot more about her background to think about what would be the best way to treat her.
Mm-hmm. What's really concerning about this too, when the police went to the home to execute this search warrant, there was a child in the home. I mean, she's holding a child while the police are there. So we don't know exactly everything that happened in that house, and you never know what happens behind closed doors at somebody's house. But there was a child in the home when this activity was going on. Again, we don't know where the child was located when it was happening.
Probably in the home.
That's a pretty grave concern.
She's talking about she can't trust the daddy or anybody else. So the child was in the home somewhere.
Wait, is her husband not the child's dad?
I don't know. I'm assuming not though, because I thought she said earlier that she couldn't trust the dad or anything like that. I could be wrong though, but man,
that this type of behavior, sex with a dog, sexual activity with a dog involving both parents, apparently, allegedly, is happening with a small child in the home.
Right, and at the very least, the child was present under the same roof when this was going on.
I don't know how that could
affect
the child.
The child was involved, and I actually think back to the beginning of my career. I was actually involved in a child custody case that had this type of, believe it or not, this type of activity in it. And this could be terribly, terribly traumatizing and deeply compromising for a child and for their development. And it's obviously its own form of trauma, abuse, and
thinking
neglect.
it's okay.
So the fact that the child is there is, all the more concerning.
Let's hope that the child wasn't anywhere near this. When they first charged this out, she, in July of last year, she had been charged with an additional 3 counts of possession of obscene material, including depictions of child pornography. So it said depictions of it. It didn't go any further in describing it in the counts. But then she ended up pleading guilty to the counts involving the dog, both felony and misdemeanor counts. So they must have dropped those other child depiction charges. I'm thinking maybe she was searching around on the internet for those types of things, but possibly. That's concerning though too, because if there was child pornography related stuff involved here, I mean, even looking at that stuff, that's very concerning.
Yeah, absolutely. And you said before that seemed like a pretty stiff sentence. Well, I guess it really depends. For some people it's a very stiff sentence, and for some people it's not enough time. But there's indications that some of these tendencies may have gone into kids as well. And so this is a very, very mentally ill woman who needs a lot of help, and who certainly is a danger to society, pets and people alike, and really is going to need some significant treatment.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, 3 years. I mean, I don't know if it's stiff enough, obviously. I mean, they agreed to this sentence. So, I'm just hoping she gets out and doesn't do it again.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, Dr. Daniel Bober, as always, thank you.
They have it though. That's our reaction to this very, very head turning,
disturbing,
gut wrenching,
distasteful
news outcast, news broadcast. Something that happened in Florida, man. We in Florida really don't get like that. I don't know how she got like that, but it's a very few people. It's sort of like racist. Majority of the world not racist, and majority of Florida don't do shit like this. It's just a bad representation, a bad apple. Luckily, they removed it from society though, so we don't really gotta worry about her behavior influencing other folks. And hopefully, that 3 years is a good message out to everybody in Florida and beyond to not do this shit with innocent animals. But that's kind of our reaction to Florida mom had sex with family dog on video. Let us know what y'all think in the comments. The original video link will be in the description. We out. Kiyyah and Joe.